ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Movie Time with Tom. I'm your host, Tom. We got a great show for you tonight. Heads up, this is our premiere episode. This is our pilot. We're so glad you could join us. Things we're going to talk about are movies that are out, movies that are coming out this weekend, and future developments for projects that we are looking forward to. Now, movies that have been out, that have just come out recently, The Equalizer with Denzel Washington. Yes, you may be a little reminiscent of Hugo Mortensen's History of Violence, but that's okay. Denzel, he's a blockbuster movie star. He's actually making movies that people want to see, and that's a great thing. Next out, also in theaters, is a Maze Runner. It is a young adult movie. I've seen it. It's not too bad as far as young adults go. Obviously, it sets up for a sequel, so we're going to have a continuation of the Maze Runner movies, and I look forward to many more of those. Next thing out is for all the little kids. The Box Trolls. You want to get ready with your kids for an hour and a half, go send them in the Box Trolls. They're going to see that. Not really getting rid of your little kids, but after the first 10 minutes of seeing the animation, it's very mind-numbing. But, you know, I'm a critic, so I can do that. Next out also is This Is Where I Leave You. Family gets grounded when their old man dies. Great new concept. Just not enough hype and not enough believability with some of the characters. It's alright. Liam Neeson's A Walk Among the Tombstones. The guy is making millions off of talking into a telephone and threatening people with their lives. In the real world, that is some crazy stalker stuff that gets you arrested. But for Liam Neeson, it works, and he's making a fortune out of it. Gotta hand it to him. If I tried that stuff, I'd be in jail. And still out in the theaters, still making massive loads of money. Mine personally, Guardians of the Galaxy. I've seen it in the theater 7 times. It is this generation's Star Wars. Until Star Wars 7 comes out, it is pretty much what is going to captivate the science fiction audience for a long time. Thank you, Marvel, for making this great movie. Alright, now we're going to talk about movies that are coming up this weekend. What movies you should see with your friends, what movies you should see on a date, what movies that you may know about or not know about. First one coming out is David Fincher's Gone Girl, starring Ben Affleck, Neil Patrick Harris, Tyler Perry, Rosamund Pike. Some heavy hitters in this thing, just to get Rosamund Pike an Oscar for her performance in this, and that's what the buzz is about. Sure, it's going to be a great movie. Yes, Ben Affleck, we know you've redeemed yourself. You've gotten a couple Oscars now, and we're proud of you. We know you're Batman. Val Kilmer was Batman. Yeah, I went there. Alright, next coming up this weekend is A Good Lie from Philippe Fairdeau, starring Reese Witherspoon, but not really starring Reese Witherspoon. She's a co-starring in it because when Wild comes out in December, she will be the headliner of that movie, making it come out. Also coming out, the puppet horror from the people that brought you The Conjuring, Annabelle. They're still in legal litigation with some rights issues with The Conjuring 2, so they put out Annabelle for us. John Leonetti is a twisted individual. Bless him, because putting out good quality horror is something near and dear to my heart, and I wish that a lot of people will come see this movie just to have themselves scared during the October time frame coming up, because Halloween is coming. Also coming out in theaters under the wire a little bit, it's called Men, Women, and Children. I really don't know much about this. It's pretty much kind of it's a dramedy, and you know the director, Jason Reitman, he owns his past movie failings. And now this leads us into our closing segment, movies coming up. And what is coming up in production and all through the rumor mill has got me excited, because the vast majority of it is superhero comic book movies, and I'm a huge fan of those. Deadpool is coming up. Imagine that, a movie about a guy who breaks the fourth wall the entire time. Studios don't like it. I'm a huge fan of it. Also coming out, Amazing Spider-Man 3. Is it going to complete the trilogy, or is it going to be just another step in a long continuing process to keep Spider-Man from joining the Avengers? As long as Sony is putting out the Spider-Man movies, we're going to get Spider-Man movies. Fans are going to be there. We just won't see Spider-Man in any of the Avenger movies because of this until it comes back. And we want them to come back. We want to see Spider-Man as an Avenger. I want to see Peter Parker and Tony Stark go at it. It's just something that Marvel needs to pull back together and make happen. Also coming out is Batman vs. Superman and then Justice League. Both of these things, Zack Snyder's got his work cut out for him to make something that will rival what Marvel is putting out. Yes, Warner Brothers and DC Comics are very risk averse. It's okay, you don't have to be risk averse. Just make fun movies that we, the audience, want to come see. We will give you our money. Just make something we want to see. We want to see these comic book superheroes come to life. We want Wonder Woman. Please, fix this. She should have her own movie by now. Alright, also coming out, Ant-Man. It's next on the horizon of the Marvel timeline. It's supposed to set forth the Marvel Cinematic Universe into a future that is completely unexpected, despite all of us have read the comic books and know all the stories that are coming. We know all the characters as soon as they put them on screen, because the makeup artists and the costumers do such a fine job bringing these things together, and I wish the Academy would recognize them for the work that they do by making these two-dimensional characters in a comic book come to life and captivate all of our attention. And also in line with that, X-Men Apocalypse for the exact same reason. I wish Marvel would bring them back so that way we can have Wolverine fighting against the Hulk, just because I just see that as just a fun thing. You can make a whole movie just about that. Next coming up are the video game movies. Video game movies are usually very miss more than hit, but coming up there's an Assassin's Creed movie, and with everyone doing parkour, it's going to be a stuntman's festival. And every parkour kid is going to be all over wanting to see this movie, especially the way the game plays out. And next also, Hitman Agent 47. A sequel to the previous Hitman movie. I'm hoping they stick to the timeline and the story. It's a great thing about a bald guy getting to kill people. Very, very similar to every James Bond movie we've ever seen. But in video game format, and we don't get Lara Croft to look at. Next coming up also is the sequels. Just sequels that are coming up, because the first ones did so well, they're going to pull in an audience for the future of their franchises. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man Tell No Tales, Jack Sparrow's back. Pretty sure we're just going in there to see Johnny Depp in makeup acting like a pirate in a scallywag. I'm okay with that. I'll be there in that one. Next also is Mortal Instruments 2, City of Ashes. I hope they do something to change that timeline with that huge incestuous ending at the ending, because it was far more decrepit than it was in Star Wars. I do love Star Wars, especially when they, that Luke and Leia brother and sister thing. I hope they fix this as well for the audiences and everything else, because that was just creepy. Also coming out, Magic Mike XXL. Not a fan, but I'm sure the ladies love it. And they're filming it right now down in Savannah, Georgia. It's Channing Tatum. I apparently America can't get enough of that guy. Also coming out in the future, Ted 2. Yes, I want to say Magic Mike and Ted 2 in the same sentence, because I know every woman wants to get cuddly with both of them at the same time in some weird way. And then I'm going to wrap this segment up with Star Wars Episode 7. It cannot get made fast enough. Help us, Obi-Wan, your only hope. We know you're not coming back. Maybe you'll come back as a ghost. Maybe they'll get the ghost of Alec Guinness to come back as a ghost so he can play himself in this. Is that possible? I mean, the thing is star-studded, packed with Oscar winners. It's all practical effects, which I am a huge fan of, and I cannot wait for this thing to come out. Well, this now comes to the concluding part of the show, and I want to talk to you about a small little studio, V2 Productions in Virginia, and they're coming out with a horror movie straight to DVD called Bloodbath in Crichtonville. Look for it in all your general retailers. It is a tribute to old school campy horror, which I also love, and it's a beautiful thing. So go find it, check it out. And this concludes our show. Thank you for watching. You have a great night and enjoy the movies.